Hello, everyone. It is back to C programming time. Today, we're going to work on if trees. Very important subject, very basic subject. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to see what's in this handy dandy folder. And we've already got a file called if.c, so we'll just clear that out with echo again. And there we are. So, if you remember from the last time, if we want to issue any kind of output, shouldn't say any kind, but standard output, we will need to hashtag include stdio.h, the header file that contains printf, as well as several other useful things, but printf is what we're concerned about today. Just like last time, main will return an integer, and it will take an integer named argc, argument count, and a vector of strings, which is a pointer to a character pointer called argv. And you don't want to forget your handy dandy return 0 at the end. Alright. So, I think the first thing we're going to need is a variable to if with. And you can actually use argc or argv if you want to, but for the purpose of simplicity, we will just make one. It'll be an integer, and we will call it if number. And we'll initialize it to, how about 0? 0 is a good number. Syntax of if is pretty easy. If, parentheses, and you've got a condition. The condition will, this can be a bit of an advanced subject, but the condition must evaluate to an integer, or something like an integer. But for simple purposes, just remember that the equals equals sign means is equals to. Equals 0. The conditional execution is inside these fancy curly braces here. If it's only one line, you don't need them. I'll show you that in a minute. Printf. If number is 0! Exclamation point. And if we go ahead and save that, use our handy dandy compile line, ANSI for ANSI compliance, -o for output file, and the input file, we will get no errors. Woohoo! I'm on a roll. I almost never get no errors when I compile. And we can run it with just a simple / like that. If number is 0. Now, to really see this, we do have to play around with it a little bit more. So we'll go ahead and open that back up again. Make it 1. And go ahead and get rid of these braces, like I promised. And a compile. A run. And we don't get anything, because if number is 1 now. We can get a little more advanced with this. There is an else to go with your if. Else, ooh, haha. Anything in the else block will execute if the associated if was false. Imagine that. Printf. If number is something else. And if we recompile and execute again, it will acknowledge that our if number is not 0. Look at that. And I think the last thing we need to look into about if trees is that you can actually daisy chain them together. Like so. Number equals 1. Number is 1. And we can go ahead and throw our final else in. And we should have it acknowledge that if number is 1. Save it. And hit our compile line. Execute. And there it's acknowledging that if number is 1. That is the basics of if trees. This sort of thing can get a lot more complicated with more conditional operators. You've got an AND symbol, an OR symbol. I believe this one is actually an XOR. That's a bitwise XOR. I don't remember what the bytewise XOR is. We'll save that for another video where we get more advanced, but it's good to keep in mind now that this stuff can spiral off into absolute madness if you need it to. But definitely one of the golden rules of programming and engineering in general is to keep it as simple as you possibly can. It makes stuff easier to fix. I hope you all learned something, and have a great day.